Now let's take a look, a little more detailed look at assets and what you can do with them and how they look and appear in Maximo. So again, I'm back to my Start Center. I'll just navigate to Assets and maybe just using some of what we've learned already, I'll get a list of pumps. So I've just retrieved everything at the Bedford site that had the term pump in the description. I'll just pick this first one. And let's go through a little bit deeper on what these various tabs mean across the top. So the first thing I can see is this tab that's called a spare part. So when I hit this tab, it's going to show me some very important information. One is this asset, this pump, is part of a larger skid or a larger entity within my application. So it's part of the boiler. It's a subassembly of the boiler, and this pump itself has a motor, so it has a child, right? So this is the child, which is the motor. It's the dry side of the pump. And then down here are all of the spare parts, the engineered spare parts that go with this pump. So this would be things that if you're doing work and cutting a work order, these are the things that you may need, right? Now, this list can grow over time. There's the ability in the system that if you say add as a spare part and you put that in your inventory setup, then every time you use a part that's not already associated with the asset, you use it on a work order, it will automatically build this bill of materials for you over time. And by the way, anytime you have an item number and you say view item availability, you'd be able to go look into the storerooms that you have access to and find out how many are reserved, how many are on hand, how many are staged, and look at all the purchasing information about that. So POs that are cut, PRs that are cut, and contracts that you might have for the item. You can see that anywhere you see an item number. Over here's the safety tab. So this would give you the hazards and precautions for any given hazard. If there was hazardous material, it would be on this tab, lockout, tag out information, and then safety related assets that might go with this particular piece of equipment. Meters. So in this tab, if I have meters associated with the asset, like run hours or pressures, temperatures, vibrations, these kind of things, they're associated here. And then you can have the system, through what's called condition monitoring, automatically produce warnings and work orders, warnings and alerts, based off of an operational condition. So if I have a pump that the outlet pressure is too high or too low, I can set warning limits and alert limits on that, so I can have the health of the equipment automatically create work orders for me. Over here's the specification tabs. A lot of people believe this is largely used for nameplate information. So if I wanted to track more detailed information about the piece of equipment, and I didn't necessarily want it right on the header record, right? I can put it back here on the specifications tab. And yes, you might be thinking, can I search on that? Yes, you can, in combination with all the other information. So if I wanted all the pumps from Ingersoll Rand that we saw earlier, but had an operating speed over 1,000 RPM, I can get that kind of a query out of the system as well. Okay, this work tab will show any work orders that have been created against this piece of equipment and any service tickets that have been created. Here I don't have any, but here if I go to work orders, these are all the work orders. And again, if I just click here, I'd be able to go right into those work orders and look at that historical work on this piece of equipment.